Good morning, America. Welcome to A Minute with Mel. In this episode, I will discuss the future of America. Who are we? What do we want to be? And where are we heading as a country? Jesse Jackson said, America is not like a blanket, one piece of unbroken cloth, the same color, the same texture, the same size. America is more like a quilt. Many patches, many pieces, many colors, many sizes, all woven and held together by a common thread. But is this who we really are today, or what we strive to be? I'm certain that people like Charlie Kirk, Nick Fuentes, Kanye West, and some far-left extremists would not agree with Jackson's statement, nor would they strive for America to become a quilt of many colors. Now, their values are not the same as mine. As a young kid, I learned my values from my parents, church, school, where we had an honor system, and the shared values of my friends who were Catholic, Jewish, Protestant, and Muslim. My parents instilled in me that family always came first, then love of yourself and others, loyalty, honesty, and respect. As a family, we might disagree, we might even argue and fight each other. But in the end, we always supported our family. Next in the line of our values was God and church, which was the foundation for everything else. Treat others as you would want to be treated. Love one another and help one another, especially during difficult times. And finally, my parents taught us to love and defend our country, America, despite the difficult and trying times we faced. The one thing my parents said frequently, we're not the only ones suffering. There are whites, blacks, browns, and others who are struggling economically, physically, and mentally in America, and we should proceed to extend a helping hand to all of them. I viewed values, maintaining a strong moral compass with a set of ethical principles. In very simple terms, integrity, loyalty to God, family, and country, respect for each other, and accepting the difference of others, their values, and cultures. In his most recent book, On Character, General Stanley McChrystal states that character, the appropriate destination of our life's journey, is not a trait inherited at birth or a gift from a learned mentor. Character is a choice. Character equals convictions times discipline. Admiral William McRaven's 2024 commencement address to the University of Texas at Austin's graduating class, he spoke about starting your day by making your bed. You will have accomplished your first task of the day. The little things matter. His comments again focus on character, discipline, convictions, and values. Now, you're probably thinking at this point, where's he going with all this philosophical bunk? And you're right. I don't want to spend a lot of time discussing the principles of values, but it is the basis for a discussion on who we are as Americans. Because if we don't have a foundation of shared values, then we can't discuss who we are or who we want to be. Are we Americans who still believe in the shared values of family, God, and country? Can we accept and live with our neighbors if they don't look like you, share the same religion, or have a different culture? My answer is yes. I've been puzzled for some time about the white power advocates, however, who argue that they want their country back and all the immigrants can leave and return to their country. And I often sat there and said, who are they talking about? Because unless these white power advocates are Native America, America is not their country. Everyone else is an immigrant except the Native Americans. Now, some will argue that they discovered America and their families built and made America what it is today. But I would counter that there were Chinese, Japanese, Filipinos, Southeast Asians, Blacks, Irish, Germans, British, French, Hispanics, and many others who helped build America. But what confuses me even more is that in the 1800s, the U.S. Census Bureau defined a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa as white. This included Germans, Irish, Arabs, Lebanese, Moroccans, and other Caucasians. And the Census Bureau raised questions initially about Italians, South Americans, and Puerto Ricans, but later reclassified them as white. My point in all of this is that I think the white power advocates are confused about who they really are. But the bottom line is, no one should really give a shit about what color you are. You can be, in this country, whoever you want to be. As I heard one actor in a recent play at the arena stage say, my race is fluid, meaning he could be whoever he wanted to be. So let's stop focusing on the bullshit about race and figure out how we can and should live together. Share our cultures, which are becoming more and more blended. Some hate the word fusion, and continue to make America one great country that sets the example for the rest of the world. But let me let you in on another secret. We don't have to make America great again, because America is already great and successful because of its diversity, and no one can argue otherwise. Now, there are some people who want to establish a dominant group with others at the bottom of the economic class, for example. But we know that's a lie. We exist and live together as a country because we believe in each other. At least that's how I feel. Now, here's the America that we are not. We're not some third-rate country who would kill our neighbors and families, especially after living for generations next door to each other. We're not a country that would rather see our country destroyed than figure out a way to live together. Of course, there are some people who would prefer that we support such countries as China and Russia because they share the same conservative ideologies. But we know how, quote, successful those countries are, especially if they depend upon America for support. We're not a country that's going to allow disinformation to persuade us to act against our better judgment. We know right from wrong and what's in the best interest of America, even if we have to compromise to make it work. I have a pretty good idea of the America that you and I want to live in and define who we are. It's an America with the following goals and objectives. We want to live in an America that provides security for you and your family, where you don't have to fear leaving your home every day. We want an America where you can be healthy with a reasonable health care program. Everyone knows the insurance companies are not your friend. They exist to make profits off your premiums and not to ensure a healthy America. Why do you think they want the Affordable Care Act to die? No pun intended. We want an America where education is a priority for everyone and provides the opportunity for you and your children to obtain a good, no, excellent high school education and a college or technical degree. Do not listen to these idiots who tell you that you don't need a college education. It's a bait and switch, because 10 years from now, they will all be telling you that you need a college degree to be hired. And there are some elitist, conservative, and religious elements in this country who will lead you to believe that a college education really should be for the privileged, that is, the rich and upper class of America. Don't buy into this bullshit, because it's designed to exclude you and your family from obtaining a better life. America is a country where everyone should have the opportunity to work and earn a living, and the opportunity to develop additional skills and growth. It's okay to start at the ground level of a McDonald's, but you should also be able to grow and become the manager, if not the owner, of a McDonald's. Every American should be able to own a home. Affordable home housing should be the priority goal of every administration, and not just talk, but solutions. Now, I don't have all the answers, but it's a start. And what I encourage you to do is to think about it and provide solutions to your congressional representatives and the current administration on how we can make America whole again, not great. We're already that, as I've said. You have a voice, and we need to hold both Congress and the Trump administration accountable. And don't let them blame everything on the previous administration. It's an excuse, not a solution. And we don't need congressional representatives who give us excuses rather than solutions. It doesn't matter which party they belong to. We need people who can figure out how to bring our country back together whole and ensure that everyone is entitled to a better life. But if we don't voice our concerns and will continue down the current path, it will be years and generations before we recover from the disasters created by this administration and Congress. Thanks for listening. Next podcast, we'll look at the failures of the U.S. immigration policy and the solutions that I have for creating a better immigration policy. This has been A Minute with Mel.